Now on CoastTV News.
Wreckage reveals victims as recovery efforts continue. We begin to learn about the people who died in the New York helicopter crash. Power price relief, the new authority proposed for the Delaware Public Service Commission, and adjusting utility rates.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. We're now going to take a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. And first, meteorologist Bob Trahey is going to join us. Well, Bob, I know it's raining because we can see the water on our camera right there. Not a good beach day.
Not a good beach day at all, Elisa. It certainly is a dreary day out there. We've seen rounds of showers moving from the south to the north, and we're seeing those showers again over Sussex County from Seaford to Georgetown, Millsboro, and Gumboro. Nothing all that heavy. A little shower around Pittsville, but Salisbury and Ocean Pines, you're dry for now. Eastern Shore, you have more concentrated rain here, even some heavier rain towards the Chesapeake Bay, as we're seeing an area of heavier rain up near Baltimore and D.C., and then west of there. We do have a thicker shield of rain that's moving right up through the southern tip of Delmarva as we're watching a low pressure developing across the Piedmont of North Carolina. That will strengthen into a coastal storm as we go through the day. Temperatures in the 40s to around 50 in Ocean Pines, 48 in Georgetown and Milton, with a gusty easterly wind now over 20 miles per hour, adding to the raw feel out there. So periods of rain into the afternoon become steady to possibly heavy. Temperatures in the 40s to around 50 mid-afternoon, and a messy Friday evening on the way. Would not want to travel this evening. In fact, we discourage it because it will be so windy and raw and kind of nasty as we go into the evening hours as the rain picks up in intensity into the afternoon hours. It does start to quiet down a little bit Saturday, but still kind of dreary, but improvement conditions on Sunday. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up in just a few moments.
Thank you, Bob. Our top story this morning, new video of the recovery effort from that deadly helicopter crash in New York. You can see the attempt to lift the main structure of that helicopter out of the water by equipment on a boat. 6 people were killed on Thursday when it crashed into the Hudson River. First responders worked to pull people from the water, but were unable to save the lives of anyone on board, including 3 children.
We were met by the first responders and they told us they did everything they can to try to save these victims. And you can see the trauma in their face. They did everything they can.
Authorities report that helicopter had been in the air for about 16 minutes before the crash, and we are still waiting for information about what exactly caused that crash. And this just in, low-income Delawareans could get more of a discount when it comes to gas or electric rates. A bill is making its way in the House of Representatives that gives the Public Service Commission some options. They would have the ability to approve discounts for customers who qualify. Rehoboth Beach Democrat Claire Schneider Hall is a co-sponsor of House Bill 116. It is being debated in the Natural Resources and Energy Committee. And on Thursday in the House of Representatives, a substitute bill was introduced that would create a Delaware Department of Veterans Affairs. It would be led by a cabinet-level secretary. Currently, the Delaware Commission of Veterans Affairs handles programs related to vets. Under the bill, the commission will be a part of the new department. The bill is now under review in the Appropriations Committee. And the maintenance work at Route 9 has been pushed back due to weather expected to come in this weekend. On your screen now is the railroad crossing on East Market Street. The Delmarva Central Railroad Company is set to do maintenance on April 9th, but that work has now been postponed to April 14th. Drivers should be prepared for lane and shoulder closures along with possible traffic delays. And Delaware Congresswoman Sarah McBride introduced a bill she says will help Delaware farmers. She says the goal of the Save Our Poultry Act is to prioritize researching avian flu, analyze poultry vaccination, and fund farmers to prevent the virus's spread. McBride notes that another part of the solution to help farmers is the Inflation Reduction Act.
This administration needs to pay our farmers what they are owed. They're withholding nearly $10 million to help farmers improve their farming infrastructure and lower their energy bills. Farmers are owed that money, and the federal government needs to pay.
Representative McBride believes these steps would help farmers and also help customers at the grocery store. On Thursday, talking about time was the focus of a Senate committee in Washington. The Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee held a hearing about daylight saving time. They are looking at the twice-yearly clock change and how it impacts Americans, also possibly making standard time or daylight saving time permanent.
We know that changing the clock disrupts sleep, which can lead to negative health outcomes. Several studies have noted issues with mood disturbances, increased hospital admissions, and even heart attacks and strokes. We also know that being able to see the sun improves mental and physical health as well. But more than that, time changes can impact the safety of our communities. Darker commuting times increase the risk of injuries and even death on our way to school or work.
The committee did not offer a preference of making standard time or daylight saving time permanent. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Democrats in Congress are now calling for an investigation into insider trading following the tariff pause by President Trump. Those allegations are being brushed off by the White House. NBC's Alice Barr shows us the uncertainty in the stock market remains as a trade war with China continues.
A wild week on Wall Street, winding down with another downturn on Thursday, erasing part of Wednesday's historic recovery as investors eye the growing trade war with China. President Trump with his cabinet acknowledging what he calls short-term pain.
There'll always be transition difficulty.
While insisting negotiations are going well with other trading partners who got a 90-day reprieve in punishing tariffs and suggesting China could follow.
I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries.
No sign of that yet, with the White House clarifying total tariffs on Chinese imports are now 145%, including a previous fentanyl-related penalty. China's retaliatory 84% tariffs now in place on American goods. The rift in that critical trade relationship set to drive up prices as small businesses, like this Utah hobby shop and its customers, brace for impact.
I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to get some of the product I ordered or I'm going to have to pay more for stuff.
The instability making market forecasters like J.P. Morgan Chase stick with predictions that the U.S. economy could tip into a recession. While on a separate front, the Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to reverse course on a Maryland man who was wrongly deported to an El Salvador prison. After days of dispute, the High Court saying the administration must facilitate the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, though the justices did not back all of a lower court's ruling ordering his retrieval, saying the White House deserves deference to conduct foreign affairs. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up after the break, food truck future. That is what's up for discussion this morning in one coastal community. Happening today, an ordinance amendment to allow food truck usage in South Bethany during special events will be reviewed and possibly voted on. And starting Sunday, some lane closures are going into effect on the Bay Bridge. Here's what the schedule from the latest Maryland Transportation Authority looks like. It will be from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and the time then changes for the next 3 days from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. On Thursday, it will be 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and this is for the deck removal and replacement project.
The dreary conditions continue on this Friday morning. Here's the gutter helmet cam, 48 in Ocean View, probably a little drizzle there. It may be creeping up a couple more degrees as the rain will be intensifying as we go into the afternoon hours. Maybe heavy into this evening with really raw conditions and maybe a rumble of thunder as well. Congratulations to Haley Elizabeth from Delmarva, Maryland. Great timing on winning a new umbrella, and she has a new one from Paul Davis and CoastTV. I'll time out the rain on Futurecast after the break. We're heading into the weekend on a pretty dreary note, about as gloomy as it gets out there. Here's a Telemann Razor Cam seeing whitecaps on Delaware Bay, 48 degrees. It's cold, it's raw. You see the mast to the weather station there blowing in the wind. It's just a miserable day, and we continue to see the cool conditions continuing. Rain as we go into the afternoon, and maybe around 50 for a high in Lewis. As periods of rain will continue as we go through the day, it will become steady to maybe heavy at times as we go into this evening and overnight. And many places, I think, will pick up at least an inch of rain. And if you don't have to travel tonight, I would not venture out. It's just going to be miserable. Then for the weekend, a damp and raw start on Saturday, but then improving into Sunday. Could be hitting around 60 degrees on Sunday, but not the next couple of days with low pressure developing offshore. And that gives us a raw easterly flow. We're looking at periods of rain later today. In fact, the rest of today into Saturday, it becomes a little lighter that time, but it could be heavy at times as as we go into this evening. Maybe a rumble of thunder and maybe some minor coastal flooding possible, especially at time of high tide. So you know who you are. Those vulnerable spots along the coast could see a little bit of flooding. As we are seeing rain continuing to move into the region now. Georgetown, Highway 9 is in the steady rain back through Seaford and Bridgeville. Not seeing it right now in Ocean View and Bayville, but that rain will be filling in with time. We're seeing the showers around Salisbury and the eastern shore. You're socked in with the steady rain, even some heavier rain around Cambridge. And we're seeing that heavy rain over the Chesapeake Bay right now, arcing back into the Baltimore area and eastern parts of Virginia. So that's where the axis of the heavy rain is right now. It's right along a trough that's extending into the mid-Atlantic region. We're watching low pressure developing now across eastern North Carolina. You can see that heavy rain just blossoming across Virginia, and that will be moving in our direction as we go into the latter part of today. As you see that low pressure area beginning to strengthen, and once it moves off the coast, it'll get even stronger, enhancing that rain and wind later today. 48 in Delmarva and Rehoboth and a lot of other places right now. 50 in Ocean Pines as those easterly winds are picking up, and they're already gusting over 20 miles per hour, and they'll continue to be strong as we go into the evening with periods of rain into the afternoon, heavy at times. You start seeing these yellow and tan areas. That's telling us heavy rain. It's going to be a messy Friday evening with a raw northeast wind and temperatures in the 40s as we continue the steady rain till about midnight, and then it's just cloudy with drizzle or light rain into Saturday morning as we have a raw northwesterly flow and still some spotty showers into your Saturday, but temperatures will not get out of the 40s. It will be a pretty miserable day as we go into that time period. By Sunday, we're going to see low pressure starting to move offshore. We begin to dry it out at that time, maybe some peaks of sun, and we'll start to warm it up too, especially into Monday. As far as rainfall amounts, some places at least an inch of rain, maybe an inch and a half, others a little less than that. So it certainly will be a soaking, and secure those outdoor items. Those northeast winds really cranking up, especially along the coast, 25 to 35 miles per hour, and then turning out of the northwest tomorrow. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 52 today, and Saturday it's a rainy one for the start of Passover. Lighter showers, 48 degrees. Palm Sunday, 60 with some sunshine, and then of course it gets nice on Monday as we all go back to work, 71, and then dry, and temperatures not too bad Tuesday through Thursday.
Thank you, Bob. Nice weather on a Monday is a good thing. And here's a look at what's coming up this afternoon on Coast Live at 4.
We got a great Coast Life Friday coming your way. We're going to be talking about our winners of the week.
Of course. We're also going to be introducing you to our pet of the week. He's so cute. Look at little hunches of bunches. Oh, he's the sweetest thing, and he could be all yours.
Plus, it's the biggest movie in theaters right now. We're going to take a look at the Minecraft movie and give you some numbers about just how box office smashing this thing has been so far.
Can't wait for that. We'll see you at 4 o'clock today on Coast Life.
In Delaware, a bill making its way through the General Assembly could put scooters on the streets. According to House Bill 114, low-speed motorized scooters would be allowed in the first state. These are scooters that only reach speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. That bill clarifies that high-speed scooters will continue to be prohibited. The bill now awaits a hearing in the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. And prepare for spring at the Food Bank of Delaware. Its Milford location says spring plants will be available in less than a month. On May 3rd, people can buy seasonal vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Native plants will also be available. That event takes place from 9:30 to 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 3rd.
Southern Delaware Pride shines this weekend, so stay tuned for your cool things to do.
Spring cleaning, wine tasting, and maybe even some friendly competition. Coast TV's Christina DeRobertis has all that and your cool things to do.
Do you say lower, slower Delaware or slower, lower Delaware? Well, whatever you call it, this weekend is the time to celebrate the best of Southern Delaware, and you can head to Salted Vines Vineyard Saturday for the Lower Slower Festival. You can expect live music, food trucks, shopping, and of course, plenty of wine. In Rehoboth Beach, Women's Plus Fest runs all weekend long. It's hosted by Camp Rehoboth. Entertainment, sports, comedy, and music are all on the agenda for this 4-day event. Indian River alumni will want to head to the Frankfort Volunteer Fire Company Saturday night for the 10th annual Beef and Brew fundraiser. There's going to be all-you-can-eat food, a cornhole competition, plus the graduating class with the most members in attendance will win a trophy. The Lewis Tulip celebration continues with walking tours this weekend. History in Bloom offers 3 tours on Saturday morning and afternoon. And the Easter Bunny is making a few stops across the coast ahead of Easter next Sunday. The Easter Festival will be at Sussex Central High School Saturday from 11 to 4, and there's also an Easter scavenger hunt in downtown Milford Saturday morning. And if you're in the mood to give back, there are 2 chances to make a difference Saturday morning. You can join the Coastal Cleanup in Bethany Beach or the Community Cleanup in Milford. For event details, tickets, and more, just head over to CoastTV.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
It is a rainy Friday across Delmarva and a cloudy one too on the Laurel Cam and Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camera. 49 degrees. It's going to be a dreary day and it's going to continue to rain. Some of that rain will be heavy at times and it's a wet and chilly start to the weekend, then drying out as we head into Sunday. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next. We're seeing a steady rain falling now across the eastern shore, and that's overspreading much of Maryland into Sussex County too. And that rain will get heavy into the afternoon and evening hours, maybe a rumble of thunder too, and it's going to be raw too with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Really stay in tonight if you can. It's going to be nasty. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. A wet Saturday, not as wet as this evening though. Scattered showers 48. Palm Sunday is up to 60. Warmer on Monday, and then heading into Good Friday next week, some showers, but hopefully drier heading into Easter.
Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 for the latest. Have a good afternoon.